Hello everyone, so in this video we're gonna see how to make soft moist carrot cake recipe, and because in this channel we talk about how to know our food better, here are the 5 insane things that a good carrot cake should never have. Number 1. Coconut. I understand the popularity of coconuts, but there's no place for coconuts in this recipe, no matter what.
So don't substitute coconut milk for the non-dairy version as it changes the flavor of the recipe. So instead use oat milk, which is neutral in taste.
On to number 2.
Pineapple. Oh yes, there are people who put pineapple in carrot cake recipe and call it as pineapple carrot cake.
People, carrots are one of those vegetables that even when they're big, they're not carroty enough, despite the fact that they have a lot of shredded carrots. So leave the damn carrots out of the recipe if you want to make a damn pineapple cake. Okay, now let's get started on how to make this soft and moist carrot cake recipe.
Take about 2 eggs. We shall now see how to separate egg whites without egg separator. You know, the only way that existed even before crazy gadgets were invented. The key is to break it slowly and release the egg whites from the eggshell as much as possible, and then transfer the yolk to one half shell and then move the yolk to the next half, so that by repeating it we separate the egg whites.
How simple was that? You saw what I did there? Please use a wide bowl initially so that you don't have to wash an extra lid like I did.
Use a whisk or a beater to fluff up the egg whites, which is the key to make a fluffy soft carrot cake. I took 2 tablespoons out of the 165 grams of sugar needed for this recipe. I added 1 part of it and started whisking it using the beater, and added the rest after a minute. You should probably achieve something that looks like this. Now, the actual key ingredient of this recipe are the carrots. I used 2 of the carrots, which is about 185 grams. And as you can see, the shredded carrots are not so fine. I prepared the cake pan ahead as I would like to bake the cake immediately after the rising agents are added. Next, we add in 165 grams of sugar. Now, traditional recipes use equal amount of flour to sugar, but this one is a low sugar carrot cake recipe. Next, we add in the 2 egg yolks. If you don't eat eggs, just use 2 tablespoons of flaxseed powder with 6 tablespoons of water. Then we add in 60 ml of oil. Mix it well with spoon by combining the sugar, egg yolk and oil. So here's a tip. In order to make a darker looking moist carrot cake, add 60 grams of the brown sugar and the rest 65 grams of the refined white sugar instead of just using the whole white sugar. Then add in milk. I have half a cup here and I'm going to use little by little. You don't want to add all of it at one shot. Bring in the whisk for efficiency. We can adjust the liquid after the carrots are added. Now it's time to add 250 grams of plain flour. I am sifting it before adding it straight to the bowl. You always do this if you want a nice fluffy cake. Then add in 1 teaspoon baking powder, then half a teaspoon baking soda, and finally a pinch of salt.
Most of the traditional recipes use nutmeg, cinnamon and ginger, but today I'm choosing to use our family favorite spice, the green cardamom.
This is green cardamom pod. There are tiny black seeds in it, and I have used 2 pods to make a very fine powder from it. Add the ground cardamom and combine the wet and dry ingredients slowly by using a spatula. You don't want to overwork the dough, just be patient in mixing it. Add in half teaspoon of vanilla to balance the smells. And now it's time to bring in the shredded carrots.
Meanwhile, let's get back to the 3rd insane thing that a good carrot cake should never have. Any guesses? At this point in the recipe, you will be tempted to add nuts, which is fine, but don't add raisins. Why? Because you take 1 slice of the carrot cake which has 2 raisins in it. And what happens to your brain then? It becomes so sweet that it overpowers the flavor of the carrots. Raisins don't belong here. Raisins belong in an oatmeal recipe.
Add in the rest of the milk and gently fold in the batter by combining the carrots well. You can see that the dough is mostly carrots and not too runny as well. Now there are two types of carrot cake. One is of a fluffy, light. Another one could be like a dense and a moist recipe. This recipe tries to achieve a balance between the both, and the bonus being it a low sugar recipe. Bring back the fluffed up egg whites and add them in parts. As you can see, I am doing it slow and not hurrying up. Just to reduce the length of the video, I am playing it faster by 4 times, but do not rush up in this stage. You could lose all the air that you had done while whisking. Now that air is what makes the cake get a fluffy texture. Once it looks something like this, bring back the prepared cake pan to bake the most moist carrot cake. Give it a tap to release air bubbles if any. Oh, these are my new silicone oven mitts from Geekom. Super comfortable with great features. I got a detailed video on the 5 best features of these silicone oven mitts.
I shall leave a link in the description. Do check them out.
The oven was preheated to 350 Fahrenheit. I baked it for a total of 1 hour, and that is because the cake pan was not of the right size. So if you're using a 9-inch cake pan, it would take somewhere between 35 to 45 minutes to get the carrot cake baked. Once it's baked well, leave it to rest for some time until it's easy to hold and release the cake from the cake pan.
Oh, I have not forgotten. Here's the 4th insane thing that a good carrot cake should not have. Bananas! I understand that you wanted to sub the eggs for the bananas, or you just ran out of carrots. You just thought 1 carrot, 1 banana, not a big deal. But think about it. Bananas have a strong profile, strong flavor profile, that carrots get lost in the batter. You can't find them, you can't find it, you can't taste it because it smells like banana. Am I too judgmental in thinking that bananas don't belong in a carrot cake recipe? What do you guys think?
Let's check how the cake looks, and today after a long time, my kids are back to taste the carrot cake. So stay on till the end while I unveil the last insane ingredient that a good carrot cake should never have. From the looks, it looks soft and crumbly. And yes, if you did think it looked like a giant muffin, I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, that was a mistake, but hey, the proof is in the pudding. So here comes the taste test.
It's tasty. I love it.
Love it? Okay. What do you think, darling?
It's sweet. It's nice. It's soft.
Is it soft? Is it overly sweet?
No. I want it with Mama. Like mushy and soft. Mama.
Should I put frosting or just this will do?
Mama. I'm gonna eat this at eating by chore.
I think it's correct, right?
Yeah.
The sugar level is correct. It's
Might be great with frosting, but I also like it how it is right now.
it's very soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last insane thing that a good carrot cake should never have is pumpkins. Pumpkin is good to be single on its own, but it deserves a whole lot of recipes on its own strength. But along with carrots, no thanks. That is why you should watch these videos, because here the pumpkins are celebrated in a right manner. And I shall see you on the next video. Take care and see you later.